शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करभावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। अगजानन पद्मार्कं गजाननमहर्निशम् अनेकदन्तं भक्तानामेकदन्तमुपास्महे। श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। अस्मद्गुरुचरणारविन्दाभ्यां नमः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां श्रीहयग्रीवमुपास्महे। श्रीहयग्रीवमूर्तये नमः। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। श्रीमहासरस्वत्यै नमः। उमाकोमलहस्ताब्ज सम्भावितललाटकं हिरण्यकुण्डलं वन्दे कुमारं पुष्करश्वशं। வெற்றிவேல் முருகனுக்கு ஹரஹரோஹரா. லோகவீத்யம் மகாபூஜ்யம் சர்வரக்ஷாகரம் விபும் பார்வதி ஹிருதயானந்தம் சாஸ்தாரம் பிரணமாம்யகம். சுவாமியே சரணமையப்பா. வாகர்த்தாவிவ சம்பிரக்தௌ வாகர்த்த பிரதிபத்தயே ஜகதः பிதரௌ வந்தே பார்வதி பரமேஸ்வரௌ. ஸ்ரீ பார்வதி பரமேஸ்வராभ्यां நமः. कोमलं कूजयन् वेणुं श्यामलोऽयं कुमारकः वेदवेद्यं परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अस्मद्गुरुचरणारविन्दाभ्यां नमः। श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे श्रीनाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे श्रीनाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे श्रीनाथ नारायण वासुदेव। पीताम्बरं करविराजितचक्रशङ्ख कौमोदकी सरसिजं करुणासमुद्रं राधासहायम् अतिसुन्दरमन्दहासं वातालयेशम् अनिशं हृदि भावयामि। कृष्णो रक्षतु मां चराचर गुरुः कृष्णं नमस्ये सदा। कृष्णेनैव सुरक्षितोऽहमसकृत् कृष्णाय दत्तं मनः। कृष्णादेव समुद्भवो मम विभो कृष्णस्य दासोऽस्म्यहं। कृष्णे भक्तिरचञ्चलास्तु भगवन् हे कृष्ण तुभ्यं नमः। श्रीगुरुवायूरप्पा शरणं नम्राणां सन्निधत्ते सततमपि पुरस्तैरनभ्यर्थितानपि अर्थान् कामानजस्रं वितरति परमानन्दसान्द्रां गतिं च। इत्थं निःशेषलभ्यो निरवधिकफलः पारिजातो हरे त्वं क्षुद्रं तं शक्रवाटी ध्रुममभिलषति व्यर्थमर्त्यव्रजोऽयं। श्रीगुरुवायूरप्पा शरणं श्रीभट्टपादम् अनिशं हृदि भावयामि। वंशी विभूषितकरात् नवनीरदाभात् पीताम्बरात् अरुणबिम्बफलाधरोष्टात् पूर्णेन्दुसुन्दरमुखात् अरविन्दनेत्रात् कृष्णात् परं किमपि तत्त्वमहं न जाने। കൈരണ്ടും കൂപ്പി ഞാൻ വിണ്ടൂമീറക്കുന്നു നീരജലോചന നിന്നോടായി. ഏതീനു മഞ്ഞാനെ കുമ്പീടേണ്ടാത്തോറു രീതിയിൽ നീ എന്നെ പാലിക്കെന്നായി. കൃഷ്ണ ഹരേ ജയ കൃഷ്ണ ഹരേ ജയ കൃഷ്ണ ഹരേ ജയ കൃഷ്ണ ഹരേ. Good morning, everyone. Okay, so let's do a review of 68 and maybe half of 74. So Shobha, can you do 68?
Yes.
And Sridevi garu, can you do 74?
Sure, Rajesh.
Okay. Go ahead.
Darshakam 68. Gopinam Bhagavat Samagamati Varnanam. Tava Vilokanath Krishna Gopika Janaha Pramata Sankula Krishna Pankajekshana Amrutadharaya Krishna Sampluda Iva Stimitadam Tadu Krishna Tvat Purogataha Tadanukachana Krishna Tvatkarambujam Sabadi Gruhnati Krishna Nirvishankitam Ghanapayotare Krishna Sannitayasa Pulaka Samruta Krishna Tastushi Tava Vibhopara Krishna Komalambujam Nijagalantare Krishna Paryaveshtayate Ghalasamutkadam Krishna Pranamarutam Pradinirantadiva Krishna Ati Harshula Abhagatat Prabha Krishna Kabikamini Tava Mukambujat Krishna Bhugacharvitam Pradigruhayatat Krishna Bhaktra Pankaje Nitadadi Gada Krishna Purna Kamatam Vigaruno Vane Krishna Samvihayamam Apagadosika Krishna Tvamiha Sprushet Idi Saroshaya Krishna Tavade Gaya Sajalalochanam Krishna Vikshido Bhavan Idi Mudakulai Krishna Vallavi Janai Samubhagato Krishna Yamune Tade Mrudukujambarai Krishna Kalpidasane Gusruna Basure Krishna Paryashobataha Kadivida Kriba Krishna Kebi Sarvato Drudadayodaya Krishna Kejidasrite Kadishidi Trusha Krishna Matrusheshwabidi. The mistake Pandana?
No, keep going. Yeah.
Okay. Abhihido Bhavan Krishna Vallavi Janai Ai Kumarika Krishna Naiva Shankyatam Katinadamai Krishna Prema Gatare Maidu Chedaso Krishna Venu Vrittaye Kridamadem Maya Krishna Idiyu Jivan Bhavan.
Under the second line or however you have it. Maitu Chetaso Krishna Vonu Vrittaye. Vo.
Oh, sorry. Maitu Chedaso Krishna Vonu Tane.
Yeah, Vo.
Yeah, Vonu Vrittaye Kridamidam Maya Krishna Ityujivan Bhavan. It's okay, no?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay. Ainisham Yadam Krishna Jiva Vallabha Priyatamo Jano Krishna Netrusho Mama Tadiharam Yadam Krishna Ramyayaminishu Anuparodamidi Krishna Alabo Vibho.
Shobhan, the first line, Jiva Valla Bhaha. There's a visarga at the end, okay?
Yes.
Okay. All right. You keep going. Yeah.
Okay. Idigiradikam Krishna Modame Durai Brajavadu Janai Krishna Sagamaraman Khalida Kaudugo Krishna Rasakelane Gurupuri Pade Krishna Pahi Mam Gatad Sri Krishnaya Parabrahmane Namah.
Very good. Devi garu, 74.
Akshar. Shri Krishnaya Parabrahmane Namaha. Dashakam 74. Bhagavato Madhurapuri Pravesha Varnana. Samprapto Mathuram Dinardha Vigami Tatrantarasmin Vasannu Arame Vihitashanaha Sakijanairiatav Puri Mikshitum Prapo Rajapatham Chirashruti Dhrutavyaloka Kautuhala Stri Pumsodyada Ganya Punya Nigalaihi Akrishya Mano Nukim त्वत्पादद्युतिवत्सरागसुभगाः त्वन्मूर्तिवद्योषितः सम्प्राप्ता विलसत्पयोधररुचो लोलाभवदृष्टिवत् हारिण्यस्त्वदुरस्थलीवदयिते मन्दस्मितप्रौढिवत् नैर्मल्योल्लसिताः कचौगरुचिवद्राजत्कलापाश्रिताः तासामाकलयन्नपाङ्गवलनैः मोदं व्यालोलेषु जनेषु तत्र रजकं कञ्चित् पट्टीं प्रार्थयन् कस्ते दास्यति राजकीयवसनं याहीति तेनोदितः सद्यस्तस्य करेण शीर्षमहृताः सोऽप्यापपुण्यां गतिं भूयो वायकमेकमायतमतिं तोषेण वेषोचितं दाश्वांसं स्वपदं निनेतः सुकृतं को वेद जीवात्मनाम् मालाभिस्तबकैस्तवैरपि पुनर्मालाकृता मानितो भक्तिं तेन वृतां दिदेशितपरां लक्ष्मीं च लक्ष्मीपते कुब्जामज्जविलोचनां पति पुनर्दृष्ट्वाङ्गरागे तया दत्ते साधु किलाङ्गरागमददाः तस्या महान्तं हृदि.
Sridhar, you got it there. So in the second line, because you said ragam, right? It becomes adadaha. So can you say the second line again?
Okay. Datte sadhu kilaga raga madadaha. Is that right?
That's right.
Tasya mahantam hridi chittastamrujata mata pratayutum gatre pitasya sputam grinhan manjukarena tamudanayah tava jagat sundari.
Very good.
Thank you.
Okay, let's start with 6 today. Kalpana, you can be a student. You're on. Yeah.
Okay.
And then Aarti, you can be a student for the first half. Okay.
Okay.
So stanza 6. Tavannishchita vaibhavastava vibho natyanta papa janaha yatkinchid dadate sma shaktyanugunam tambula malyadikam grihnanah kusumadi kinchana tadha marge nibaddhanjalihi natishtham bataha yatodyam vipulamartim brajami prabho. We already covered the meaning of this in the last class. So tavan nishchita vaibhavas tava vibho, comma, natyanta papa janaha. If you don't have a visarga, put a visarga there. Janaha, comma, yet kinchit dadate. Okay, so two das coming there. Yet kinchit dadate sma shaktyanugunam, comma, tambula malyadikam. Tavannishchita vaibhavastava vibho natyanta papa janaha yatkinchid dadate sma shaktyanugunam tambula malyadikam.
तावन्निश्चित वैभवास्तव विभो नात्यन्त पापा जनाः यत्किञ्चिद्ददते स्म शक्त्यनुगुणं ताम्बूलमाल्यादिकं तावन्निश्चित वैभववास्तव विभो नात्यन्त पापा जनाः यत्किञ्चिद्ददते स्म शक्त्यनुगुणं ताम्बूलमाल्यादिकम्
तावन्निश्चित वैभवास्तव विभो नात्यन्त पापा जनाः यत्किञ्चित् ददते स्म शक्त्यनुगुणं ताम्बूलमाल्यादिकं तावन्निश्चित वैभवास्तव विभो नात्यन्त पापा जनाः यत्किञ्चित् ददते स्म शक्त्यनुगुणं ताम्बूलमाल्यादिकम्.
Grihnanaha is there, put a ich sound. Grihnanah kusumadi kinchana tada, comma, marge Nibaddhanjalihi. So Nibaddha Anjali, 2 words there. Nibaddhanjalihi. Put a visarga at the end there and comma. Nibaddhanjalihi. Next line on top of na, if you have a ir, you can remove the top. So natishtham bata ha yatodhya, comma. Vipulam artim, if you want to break it, or you can say it together. Vipulam artim vrajami prabho. Ghrannanah kusumadi kinchana tadha marge nibaddhanjalihi natishtham bataha yatodhya vipulam artim vrajami prabho.
Grihnanah kusumadi kinchana tada marge nibaddhanjalihi natishtam bataha yatodhya vipulam artim vrajami prabho. Grihnanah kusumadi kinchana tada marge nibaddhanjalihi natishtam bataha yatodhya vipulam artim vrajami prabho.
Gೃह्णानः कुसुमादिकिञ्चन तदा मार्गे निबन्धाञ्जलिः नातिष्ठं बदः यतोऽद्य विपुलामार्तिं व्रजामि प्रभो.
Arti, and the third line Nibaddhanjalihi. There's no in at the front of it. So Nibaddhanjali. I think you said something different. Yeah.
गृह्णानः कुसुमादिकिञ्चन तदा मार्गे निबद्धाञ्जलिः नातिष्ठं बतः यतोऽद्य विपुलाम् आर्तिं व्रजामि प्रभो.
That's a 7. Eshyamiti vimuktaya bhagavan ale padhatriyataya durat kataraya nirikshita gatihi tvam pravisho ghopuram aghoshānumitattvadāgamamaha harsholaladdevaki vakshoja pragalat payorasamishat tvatkirtirantargata. So now, if you remember the stanza before the fifth stanza, right, where there was this woman who actually gave those fragrances, right, who was the hunchback, that Kubjam Abja Vilochana, we saw that. So then, so what she's telling Krishna and Balarama is, why don't you both come over to my house, right? Because they helped her out. So Krishna and Balarama say, no, not now. We have some things to take care of. We'll come back the next day. Apparently they go. And then she keeps looking at them go. So that's what he's talking, that from the very distance she's seeing till they finally disappear from her sight. So now they enter into the main gate of the city and they're entering into the main Mathura capital area. So it's just like how they say your reputation precedes you, right? So similarly, when Krishna is coming, so here Bhattadripad is telling that Devaki is realizing that Krishna has come. So although Krishna left on the first day, the day of his birth, and he's coming after almost 11 years, right? Krishna is now entering. So Bhattadripad is saying in his own poetic way that Devaki is feeling that because she's seeing that she's beginning to milk because she's not seen her baby since the baby was born. So now when she's having a feeling in herself that Krishna is coming to meet me, and so she's having that jubilation inside of her. So Eshyamiti Vimuktayapi Bhagavan. So the double na there, first put a in and then a comma, Bhagavan, comma. Next word starts with the a. Ale Padatriya Taya, comma. Durat Kataraya Nirikshita Gatihi. So that is that is there, remove it, put a visarga and a comma. Gatihi, comma. Tvam Pravisho Gopuram. Eshyamiti Vimuktayapi Bhagavan Ale Padatriyataya Durat Kataraya Nirikshita Gatihi Tvam Pravisho Gopuram.
Eshyamiti vimuktayāpi bhagavan ālepadatryātaya durat kātaraya nirikshita gatihi tvam pravisho gopuram. Eshyamiti vimuktayāpi bhagavan ālepadatryātaya durat kātaraya nirikshita gatihi tvam pravisho gopuram. Eshyamiti vimuktayapi bhagavan ālepadatryātaya durat kātaraya nirikshita gatihi tvam pravisho gopuram. Eshyamiti vimuktayapi bhagavan ālepadatryātaya durat kātaraya nirikshita gatihi tvam pravisho gopuram.
एष्यामीति विमुक्तयापि भगवन् आलेपदात्र्यातया दूरात् कातरया निरीक्षितगतिः त्वं प्राविशो गोपुरम् एष्यामीति विमुक्तयापि भगवन् आलेपदात्र्यातया दूरात् कातरया निरीक्षितगतिः त्वं प्राविशो गोपुरम्
आघोषानुमित त्वदागम महा हर्षोल्ललद् devaki. So that full thing is together. So aghoshanumita twadagama maha harshollalat devaki plus vakshoja pragalat payo rasa mishat. So after that first it, there are two its there. So after the first one, put a comma. And then next word starts with the it. Twat kirtir antargata. Twat kirtir antargata. So that for third line is continuous and then comma after mishat in the fourth line. Aghoshanumita twadagama maha harshollalat devaki vakshoja pragalat payora samishat twat kirtir antargata.
आघोषानुमितत्वदागममहा हर्षोल्ललद्देवकी वक्षोजप्रगलत्पयोरसमिषात् त्वत्कीर्तिरन्तर्गता आघोषानुमितत्वदागममहा हर्षोल्ललद्देवकी वक्षोजप्रगलत्पयोरसमिषात् त्वत्कीर्तिरन्तर्गता.
The third line, there are three las coming. One is the il, and then there are two las. Okay. Harsholalad.
Okay. Maha Harsholalad Devaki. Thank you.
Is it
Okay.
Lasat or La? Hello?
Ah.
The Maha Harsho Lasata.
See, it is lasat and devaki, two different
Okay.
words. Okay, but when it is written together, it becomes two das. It's the
Okay.
it and the da, when they write next to each other, they put two
Okay.
das on top of each other. So when you're saying it together, you can say Harshol lasat devaki, you can say it. But when you're separating it, it becomes lasat it.
Okay. Okay.
Rajeshji,
Oh, sorry, lalad. Oh, sorry. Oh, what did I say? Oh, sorry. Harshol lalad.
Okay.
last,
No,
three
my
last.
book has Lasat.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Yeah, change it to lalat.
Lalat.
Three last coming there. Harshol la
Thank you.
la.
Thank you.
Rajeshji, and the third line, the first comma comes after Maha, isn't it?
No, there's no comma in the third line at all. The whole third line is continuous.
Oh,
And
okay.
then you put a plus, and then in the fourth line after mishat is a comma.
Okay. Thank you, Rajeshji.
आघोषानुमितत्वथा हर्षोल्ललद्देवकी वक्षोज प्रगलत्पयोरसमीक्षात् त्वत्कीर्तिरन्तर्गता आघोषानुमितत्वथा हर्षोल्ललद्देवकी वक्षोज प्रगलत्पयोरसमीक्षात् त्वत्कीर्तिरन्तर्गता.
Answer 8. Avishto nagarim mahotsavavatim kodandashalam brajanhe madhuryena nutejasanu durena dattantaraha sragbhirbhushitam varadanur mameti vadat puraha pragrihna samaropayah kila samakrakshirabhangshirapi. So when they enter the city, gates, right? Of course, the entire city is in a very festive mood because remember the reason what's happening is Kamsa is conducting that bow festival, right? So they worship the bows. So they have a very big bow, which is similar to what happened when Janaka in Ramayana, right? It's a very big bow which is on display. And then they worship the bow, and that's why the festival is going on. So Krishna and Balarama go and ask the people where this is happening, and they enter the arena where the bow has been kept. And then here, Bhattaripat says whether your tejas, because of the charm that you and Balarama are walking, or because of the majesticness of yours, or the appearance of yours, that the guards are not stopping, they're just letting you walk. So they just, both of them just are able to walk into the arena where the bow is kept, and then nobody's supposed to touch it and all that, it is protected, but they are able to enter in and they're able to string the bow, and then they also break it. So abhangshi rapi means they end up breaking the bow, they end up stringing the bow and then they end up breaking the bow. So here in Bhagavatam they say, as if it's very easy when you look at a elephant, it just takes with its trunk a sugar cane and just breaks it easily. You are able to break that bow very easily. And even before, the people there are saying ma means no. So before they could go and stop you, they're seeing you walk in and go do this, but they're unable to stop you, and you're able to walk in and break it. So avishto nagarim mahotsava vatim, comma, kodanda shalam vrajan, comma, madhuryena nu tejasa nu purushaihi. So put a visarga and a comma there after purushaihi. Next line on top of du, if you have a ir, remove that off. It becomes durena dattantaraha. Avishto nagarim mahotsavavatim kodandashalam brajanhe madhuryena nutejasa nupurushaihi durena dattantaraha.
Vishnu nagari mahotsavavatim kodandashalam brajan madhuryena nutejasanu purushaihi durena dattantaraha. Vishnu nagari mahotsavavatim kodandashalam brajan madhuryena nutejasanu purushaihi durena dattantaraha.
Kalpana, the first word avishto, ta, right?
Oh, okay. Sorry. What did I say? Avishnu?
Yeah, you said na. Yeah.
Okay. Avishto nagari mahotsavavatim.
Avishto nagarim mahotsavavatim kodandashalam vrajan madhuryena nutejasa nupurushaihi durena dattantaraha. Avishto nagarim mahotsavavatim kodandashalam vrajan madhuryena nutejasa nupurushaihi durena dattantaraha.
Srag bhir. So srag, S-R-A-G. Okay. So
It's
srag.
sra or sra, because in Telugu it is sra instead of sra, but it's dirgham.
Oh yeah,
Sra.
actually no, srag bhir only, correct, right? I don't know why I said so.
Okay.
I think mine some, yeah, srag bhir. So S-R-A-G, srag bhir bhushitam architam. You can break it there into three parts if you want. Srag bhir bhushitam architam vara dhanur mameti. Ma-meti, it's two different words, but you can say it together. Ma-meti vadat puraha, comma. So that line, there's no comma at the very end, puraha. Pragrihnaha is there, put a is. Pragrihnas samaropayaha, put a ih sound, samaropayah kila, and then a comma. Sama krakshir abhangshir api. So three words if you want to break it. Sama krakshir abhangshir api. Okay, or you can say it together as well. Sragbhir bhushitam architam varadhanur mameti vadat puraha pragrihna samaropayah kila sama krakshir abhangshir api.
Sradbhir bhushitam architam varadanur mameti vadhat puraha pragrihna samaropayah kila samakrakshira bhangshirapi. Sradbhir bhushitam architam varadanur mameti vadat puraha pragrihna samaropayah kila samakrakshira bhangshirapi.
ராஜேஷ், அந்த லாஸ்ட்ல சமா கிராங்ஷின்னு இருக்கு, இங்க இருக்கு தமிழ்ல.
First
இங்கே
part
வராது.
இல்ல, first part is no ing, second part has a ing. So sama krakshir abhangshir.
Got it.
Okay.
श्रग्भिर्भूषितमर्चितं वरदनुर्मामेति वादात् पुरः प्रागृह्णासमरोपयः किल समाक्राक्षीरभाङ्क्षीरपि श्रग्भिर्भूषितमर्चितं वरदनुर्मामेति वादात् पुरः प्रागृह्णासमरोपयः किल समाक्राक्षीरभाङ्क्षीरपि.
Stanza 9. श्वः कंसक्षपणोत्सवस्य पुरतः प्रारम्भतूर्योपमश्चापध्वंसमहाध्वनिस्तव विभो देवानरोमाञ्चयते कंसस्यापि च वेपतुस्तदुदितः कोदण्डखण्डद्वयी चण्डाभ्याहतरक्षिपूरुषरवैः उत्कूलितो भूत्वया. So the noise that came from the breaking of the bow, it was as if it is like a prelude. It's like an appetizer to what is going to come tomorrow. So that was how it was reverberating around Mathura, because the word spreads very fast, right? That couple of young boys come from Mathura, from Gokulam, Vrindavan, and then they end up walking into this bow arena and they end up breaking the bow. So when they broke the bow, the person who was taking care and all their people came to fight with Krishna and Balarama. So they had the two halves of the bow, and with that they bed those people off. So now everybody in the city is really astonished, is that these two boys are coming in. They must really be some descendants of gods, because they're able to walk in so easily and then break this bow and also beat off all the people who are there. So they all start talking about that, becomes the talk of the town that night. But more importantly is Kamsa comes to hear about this, right? So he's invited Krishna and Balarama with the intent of killing them the next day in the wrestling match. So Kamsa now comes to hear that these two boys, just very playfully, as if it's a game, they were able to walk in and do this. So Kamsa now is very upset about what's going to happen tomorrow. And so that night, and this is not there in the next part is not there in Aranyam, but so that night Kamsa is spending the whole night thinking about Krishna. So it's like wherever he looks, he sees Krishna there, right? Because he's so afraid of what's going to come, because he knows that Krishna is Devaki Vasudeva's son. He knows that Krishna has defeated all these other people who have come there. And so he's now really beginning to worry about himself. And so he's getting bad omens and bad dreams, and he's not able to sleep that night. He's constantly thinking about Krishna here. So Shwaha is there. Put a ih sound. Shwah Kamsa Kshapanotsavasya. Kshapana Utsavasya. So it gets joined. Kshapanotsavasya Purataha. Put a if Puratah. Praramba Turyopama. Right? And then you put a plus. And then there is a ish which is in the next line, that you can say it with the first line. So it becomes Praramba Turyopamash Chapa Dvamsa Maha Dhvanis Tava Vibho. So the whole of the first line is together, and then second line after Vibho you put a comma. Devana Romanchayate. So all the gods also are really pleased. That's what it says. Devana Romanchayate. Shwah Kamsa Kshapanotsavasya Puratah Praramba Turyopamash Chapadhvamsa Mahadhvanistava Vibho Devana Romanchayate.
Rajesh, one question, sir.
Yeah.
So when we start, it says Chakkam Satchabanot. Is it correct?
Shwa. So
Shwa.
iksh and a va.
Oh,
Shwa. So KSHVA. Shwa.
Shwa.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Rajesh.
श्वः कंसक्षपणोत्सवस्य पुरतः प्रारम्भतूर्योपमश्चापध्वंसमहाध्वनिस्तव विभो देवानरोमाञ्चयत् श्वः कंसक्षपणोत्सवस्य पुरतः प्रारम्भतूर्योपमश्चापध्वंसमहाध्वनिस्तव विभो देवानरोमाञ्चयत्
श्वः कंसक्षपणोत्सवस्य पुरतः प्रारम्भतूर्योपमश्चापध्वंसमहाध्वनिस्तव विभो देवानरोमाञ्चयत्. श्वः कंसक्षपणोत्सवस्य पुरतः प्रारम्भतूर्योपमश्चापध्वंसमहाध्वनिस्तव विभो देवानरोमाञ्चयत्
Kamsasyapi cha vepathus taduditaha. So vepathus taduditaha, after that you can put a comma. Kodanda khanda dvayi, put a plus, then chandabhyahata. So that you can say that word together. Chandabhyahata rakshi purusha ravaihi. So put a visarga after ravai, ravaihi visarga. The ra that is there or ru that is there, that goes away, and then a visarga and a comma. Next word is utkulito bhut tvaya. So vepatus taduditaha, comma, kodanda khanda dvayi plus chandabhyahata rakshi purusha ravaihi visarga comma utkulito bhutvaya. Kamsasyapi cha vepatustaduditaha kodanda khanda dvayi chandabhyahata rakshi purusha ravaihi utkulito bhutvaya.
कंसस्यापि च वेपतुस्तदुदितः कोदण्डखण्डद्वयी चण्डाभ्याहतरक्षिपूरुषरवैः उत्कूलितो भूत्वया कंसस्यापि च वेपतुस्तदुदितः कोदण्डखण्डद्वयी चण्डाभ्याहतरक्षिपूरुषरवैः उत्कूलितो भूत्वया
कंसस्यापि च वेपतुस्तदुदितः कोदण्डखण्डद्वयी चण्डाभ्याहतरक्षिपूरुषरवैः उत्कूलितो भूत्वया कंसस्यापि च वेपतुस्तदुदितः कोदण्डखण्डद्वयी चण्डाभ्याहतरक्षिपूरुषरवैः उत्कूलितो भूत्वया
Sanskrit. शिष्टैर्दुष्टजनैश्च दृष्टमहिमा प्रीत्या च भीत्या ततः सम्पश्यन् पुरसम्पदं प्रविचरन् सायं गतो वाटिकां श्रीधाम्ना सह राधिकाभिरहजं खेदं वदन् प्रस्वपन् आनन्दन्नवतारकार्यघटनात् वातेश संरक्ष माम्. So this, when Krishna had left Vrindavan, right? So the gopis were telling that wherever Krishna goes, the people there are going to start feeling him, because there are some people when they come you don't even realize they have come and gone, while others when they come you really know their presence, right? They make their presence felt. So similarly here, so but everybody saying Bhagavatam, they're saying that comes true, because here if you also remember when Garga Muni was naming Krishna in the 44th chapter, right, or something, where he said for people who are nallavanukku nallavan, like in the saying in Tamil, right? So similarly for people who are nice, he's really good to them. For others, right, he's a danger. So here that's what it says is that your greatness, your mahimai was realized because for people who were kind, they were blessed with more things and blessed with affection for those who were nice to you. And for the people who were dushta, who were wicked people, they had a lot of fear. So Kamsa and others are now running through fear. So the same person, right, is having different impact on all the people there. So then Krishna and Balarama and his friends, they go around the city, right? And then evening, when it becomes time to come back, they come back to Vatikam. They come back to a garden or a shelter area where they were staying that night with everybody. And then Krishna is talking to his friend Sridama about, Radha, about Radhikam. About Radha, saying how he's already missing all the gopikas because they've all left home now, right? They've all left home and come here. So they're all missing their folks back home. Although Nanda is there, right? But Yashoda is not there. So they're missing all their family back home. And then you then go back, you then go to sleep, feeling Anandan, feeling happy, because if you remember, the whole purpose of Krishna Avataram was because Indra and the Devas went and said to Brahma, and then Brahma approached Vishnu about all the atrocities that is happening, right? So that was the original intent. Although later on, right, with Mahabharata and Bhagavad Gita, a whole bunch of things have happened with Krishna Avataram, but the main purpose Avatarya Karya Ghatanat. The main purpose of your incarnation is going to get filled the next day, is going to be fulfilled the next day. So with that in mind, you went off to sleep happily. Well, there Kamsa was, worried and upset about what's going to happen the next day. Oh, Vatesha Samrakshamam. Oh, Lord of Guruvayu, please protect me as well. So, Shishtair Dushta Janaischa Drishta Mahima, comma, Pritya Cha Bhitya Tataha, comma, Sampashyan Pura Sampadam Pravicharan, comma, Sayam Gato Vatikam. Shishtair Dushta Janaischa Drishta Mahima, Pritya Cha Bhitya Tataha, Sampashyan Pura Sampadam Pravicharan, Sayam Gato Vatikam.
शिष्टैर् दुष्टजनैश्च दृष्टमहिमा प्रीत्या च भीत्या ततः सम्पश्यन् पुरसम्पदं प्रविचरन् सायं गतो वाटिकाम् शिष्टैर्दुष्टजनैश्च दृष्टमहिमा प्रीत्या च भीत्या ततः सम्पश्यन् पुरसम्पदं प्रविचरन् सायं गतो वाटिकाम्
शिष्टैर्दुष्टजनैश्च दृष्टमहिमा प्रीत्या च भीत्या ततः सम्पश्यन् पुरसम्पदं प्रविचरन् सायं गतो वाटिकाम् शिष्टैर्दुष्टजनैश्च दृष्टमहिमा प्रीत्या च भीत्या ततः सम्पश्यन् पुरसम्पदं प्रविचरन् सायं गतो वाटिकाम्
Shri Damnam Sah Radhika Virahajam, comma, Khedam Vadan Praswapanne, put the in at the end of that line, Praswapanne, comma. Next line, the double na that you have goes away, put a a. So Anandan Navatara. So Anandan Avatara, but then it becomes two nas because of that. So Anandan Avatara Karya Ghatanat. So after that, put a comma. If you have a id, that's okay, because when the id and va are coming, it's a id, but if you're saying it separately, it's a it first ta. So Ghatanat, comma, Vatesha Samrakshama. Sridhamna Saharadhika Virahajam Khedam Vadan Praswapanne Anandan Avatara Karya Ghatanat Vatesha Samrakshamam.
श्रीदाम्ना सह राधिका विरहजं खेदं वदन् प्रस्वपन् आनन्दन् अवतारकार्यघटनात् वातेश संरक्ष माम् श्रीधाम्ना सह राधिका विरहजं खेदं वदन् प्रस्वपन् आनन्दन् अवतार्यकार्यघटनात् वातेश संरक्ष माम् श्रीकृष्णाय परब्रह्मणे नमः.
Kalpana, the last line, when you said the second time, Anandan Navatara, I think you said Tarya, you put an ya there, so that's no ya, right?
Yeah, Anandan Navatara Karya Ghatanat Vatesha Samrakshamam.
Yep.
श्रीदाम्ना सह राधिका विरहजं खेदं वदन् प्रस्वपन् आनन्दन् अवतारकार्यघटनात् वातेश संरक्ष माम् श्रीदाम्ना सह राधिका विरहजं खेदं वदन् प्रस्वपन् आनन्दन् अवतारकार्यघटनात् वातेश संरक्ष माम्. श्रीकृष्णाय परब्रह्मणे नमः.
We'll move on to 75. Stanza 1. Pratah santrasta bhoja kshitipati vachasa Prastute mallaturhe Sanghe ragnyam cha mancha nabiyayushi Gate nanda gope piharmyam Kamse saudadhirudhe Twamapi sahabala sanugascharu vesho Rangadhvaram gato bhuho Kupita kuvalaya pidanaga validham. This is also a little bit of a tough chapter, like 74 and other big chapters. So what's happening the next day? So that's whatever happened in 74 was what happened the previous day, right? So Krishna goes to sleep, Kamsa goes to sleep. Kamsa is really worried. So now Kamsa wakes up the next morning, or he doesn't sleep well, but he wakes up, and he wakes up the next morning. He immediately now gives instructions because he's ready to get the thing started, right? So he then issues orders for the people to start getting ready for the festival, for the wrestling match. After that, the bow festival was supposed to happen. So when the drums all start beating and everybody starts coming to this arena, right? So all the kings who had been invited, they're all there. All the citizens of Mathura are coming and entering into the arena and sitting. Even Nanda Gopa, who has come, right? Nanda Gopa has come with other Gopas. So all of them are also there. Ugrasena, who's Kamsa's the father, is there. Vasudeva, Devaki are also there. So everybody is assembling themselves there. So at that time, Krishna and Balarama and his friends then try to enter the arena. So when they enter the arena, they first feed one obstacle where there is an elephant called Kuvalaya Pida. That's the name of the elephant, that's the last one coming in the last time. So that elephant is there. And that elephant, because the mahoot or the caretaker of the elephant has told the elephant to block and not let Krishna and Balarama and their friends in. So the elephant is standing in their way. So Prataha, put is Pratas Santrasta Bhoja. Bhoja is referring to Kamsa. Bhoja Kshiti Pati Vachasa, comma, Prastute Mallaturye, comma, Sange Ragnyam Cha Manchan Abhiyayushi. If you want to break it, you can break it at that. Na? Manchan Abhiyayushi, comma, Gate Nanda Gopepi Harmyam. So Haryam, Harmyam. Harmyam, Harmyam. Pratasantrasta bhoja kshitipati vachasa prastute mallaturye sanghe ragnyam chamanchan abhiyayushi gate nanda gopepi harmyam.
Pratasantrasta bhoja kshitipati vachasa prastute mallaturye sanghe ragnyam chamanchan abhiyayushi gate nanda gopepi haryam.
Harmyam. Sorry. Harmyam.
Oh, Harmyam. Okay. Pratasantrasta bhoja kshitipati vachasa prastute mallaturye sanghe ragnyam chamanchan abhiyayushi gate nanda gopepi haryam.
No.
Harmyam.
Harmyam. Yeah.
प्रातः भोजक्षितिपति वचसा प्रस्तुते मल्लतूर्ये संगे राज्ञां च मंचान अभिययुषि गते नंद गोपेऽपि हर्म्यम् प्रातः संत्रस्त भोजक्षितिपति वचसा प्रस्तुते मल्लतूर्ये संगे राज्ञां च मंचान अभिययुषि गते नंद गोपेऽपि हर्म्यम्
Kamse Saudhadhi Rudhe, comma, Twamapi Sahabalaha, put is Sahabalas, Sanugash Charuvesho, comma, Rangadwaram Gato Bhuhu, comma, Kupita Kuvalayapida Naga Validham. So Kuvalayapida, that's the name, Kuvalayapida Naga Validham.
Rajesh, can you repeat it one more time? Kamse
Saudhadhi Rudhe, comma, Tomapi Sahabalaha is there, put is Sahabalas, Sanugash Charu Vesho. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Kamse Saudhadhi Rudhe, Tomapi Sahabalas, Sanugash Charu Vesho. Rangadwaram gato bhuhu kupita kuvalaya pida nagavalidham.
Kamse saudhadirude tvamapi sahabala sanugascharuvesho rangadwaram gato bhuhu kupita kuvalaya pida nagavalidham. Kamse saudhadirude tvamapi sahabala sanugascharuvesho Rangadwaram gato bhuhu kupita kuvalaya pida nagavalidham.
कंसे सौदादिरूढे त्वमपि सह बलसानुगश्च सानुगश्चारुवेशो रङ्गद्वारं गतो भूः कुपितकुवलया पीडनागावलीडम् कंसे सौधादिरूढे त्वमपि सह बलसानुगश्चारुवेशो रङ्गद्वारं गतो भूः कुपितकुवलया पीडनागावलीडम्.
Okay, so let's switch. Sindhuji, I know you're dialing from India. Can you be a student today or?
That's okay, Rajesh ji. Sorry, it took me a few seconds to unmute.
Yeah, you can be, right? You can be a student.
Yeah,
right? Okay.
I can do. Yeah.
Okay, so you and then Jaya Garu, you can be a student. Okay. Okay, stanza 2. पापिष्टापेहि मार्गा द्रुतमिति वचसा निष्ठुर क्रुद्ध बुद्धेः अम्बष्ठस्य प्रणोदात् अधिकजवजुषा हस्तिना गृह्यमानः केल्हि मुक्तोत गोपी कुचकलशचिरस्पर्धिनं कुम्भमस्य व्याहत्याली यथास्त्वं चरणभुवि पुनर्निर्गतो वल्गुहासी. So then Krishna then tells that Mahoot or the gatekeeper that to leave way, to let them get in, to which that person says no, and then he triggers the elephant off, right? So they, stimulate the elephant. So now this elephant Kuvalaya Pida now starts running towards Krishna and Balarama and everybody else. So running at full speed. So when that happens, then the elephant first holds Krishna with its trunk. So when it holds the trunk, then Krishna then escapes out of the trunk of the elephant, and then he goes and hides between the legs of the elephant, and then he comes out from there, from behind there, right? So he's just saying it's just like as if it is Kali, as if you are just having fun. You are just playing around with the elephant, and the elephant is trying to attack Krishna and the friends. So papishtha pehi margad drutamiti vachasa, comma, Nishthura Krudha Buddhehe. Put a visarga at the end of that line and the comma. Krudha Buddhehe, comma. Next line, Ra becomes A. Ambashtasya Pranodat. Pranodad is there. Da is there. Pranodadha is there. You break that into it and A for ease. So Pranodat Adhika Javajusha. That will be easier to say. So Ambashtasya Pranodat Adhika Java Jusha, comma, Hastina Grihyamanaha. Papishta Pehi Marga Drutamiti Vachasa Nishthura Krudha Buddhehe Ambashtasya Pranodat Adhika Java Jusha Hastina Grihyamanaha.
Papishthapehi margaad drudamiti vajasa nishtura kruddha buddhehe ambashtasya pranodad adhikajavabusha hastina grihyamanaha.
Sindhuji, the second line, Adhika Java Jusha.
Adhikajavajusha. Okay. Papishthapehi margaad drudamiti vajasa Nishtura Krudha Buddhehe Ambashtasya Pranodad Adhigajavajusha Hastina Grihyamanaha.
Rajesh, ரெண்டு இடத்துல comma வருது இல்லையா?
I was just going to say that. And after Pranodat, Sindhuji, there is no comma. Okay, it is just for easiness, I told you to break there. But there's no comma after Pranodat. It's only after Adhika Javajusha. Okay.
So one is next to Marga. The other one is next to Vachasa, right?
And the first line only after Vachasa and end of the line. Second line after Javajusha and then end of the line. That's it. Only one comma is in between.
Okay.
Papishtapehi marga drutamiti vachasa nishturah krudha buddhehe ambastasya pranodadhadika javajusha Hastina Gruhyamanaha. Papishtapehi marga drutamiti vachasa nishturah krudha buddhehe ambastasya pranodadhadika javajusha Hastina Gruhyamanaha.
Keli Muktota, comma, Gopi Kucha Kalasha Chira Spardhinam Kumbhamasya, then comma. So one comma after Keli Muktota, one comma at the end of that line. Next to word, you have to say that word pretty much full together. Vyahatyaliyathastvam charana bhuvi, then comma. Punar nirgato val guhasi. Kelhi muktota gopi kucha khalasha chiras phardinam kumbhamasya vyahatyaliyathastvam charana bhuvi. Punar nirgato val guhasi.
Keli muktoda gobi gujakalashajira spardhinam gumbhamasya vyahatyali yadhastvam charana bhuvi punar nirgado val guhasi. Keli muktoda gobi gujakalashajira spardhinam gumbhamasya vyahatyali yadhastvam charana bhuvi punar nirgado val guhasi.
Keli Muktotha Gopi Kucha Kalasha Chira Spardhinam Kumbhamasya Vyahatyali Yathastam Charana Bhuvi Punarnirgato Valguhasi. Keli Muktotha Gopi Kucha Kalasha Chira Spardhinam Kumbhamasya Vyahatyali Yathastam Charana Bhuvi Punarnirgato Valguhasi.
Answer 3. Hasta prapyopya ghamyo jhatiti munijanasyeva dhavan gajendram kridanapatya bhumau punarabhipatatastasya dhantam sajivam mulhad unmulya tanmulaka mahamauktikaanyatmamitre pradhastvam Haramebhir lalita virachitam radhikayai disheti. So now when Krishna is then going and hiding right under the legs of the elephant, so the elephant of course gets angry because it's not able to find out where he is. So it seeks him out by smell because it knows there's a human around, right? So it's seeking him out. And eventually when he comes out, the elephant grabs him, but then again Krishna is escaping. So this thing keeps going on and on. As if it's so Krishna is just giving entertainment to the crowd because everybody is observing this. So he's just playing around with the elephant. So here Bhattaripad is just saying, just like how the Muni Janaha, all the sages who go severe penance, who undergo severe tapas to feel that they have finally understood you, but then suddenly it goes away, right? And then have to start again trying to understand you. So it just feels like you're attainable, but then suddenly you become unattainable to the sages. Similarly, you are playing around with this elephant for a while for just for fun purposes. Then eventually when the time comes, then Krishna then puts the elephant on the ground and the elephant is then getting killed and it attains liberation, right? So when that happens, and here Bhattaripad is saying you then get, so the he says the pearls coming out. I don't know from where the pearls come out, so don't ask me where that is coming from. So he says Mautika, and there are some pearls that come out from the teeth of the elephant, which you then give it to your friends to say, let's make a necklace for Radhika, make a necklace for Radha. I mean, it is not there in Bhagavatam, it is coming in Narayaniam. So that could be a little bit of Bhattaripad's poetic spin to that as well, possible.
If I may interrupt, that elephant Kumbhastalam supposed to have pearls inside.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, that's what he's referring to. He's saying when the tusk of the elephant is out, then the pearls come out, right? And then Krishna then gives the pearls to his friends and says, when you go back, or when you go, let's go make a pearl necklace for Radhika and give it to her. That's what he says there, which you're right. But that was not there in Bhagavatam, so I didn't know that portion was true or it was just a poetic thing there. Hasta prapyopya gamyo, comma, jhatiti munijanas eva dhavan gajendram, comma, kridan napatya bhumau, comma, punarabhipatatas. If you want to break it, you can break it as punar and abhipatatas, but that's not needed. Punarabhipatatas tasya dantam sajeevam.
Rajesh, it's like Punarapi, like PI in Telugu script.
Punarabhi, second bha.
Okay, okay, thanks.
Hasta prapyopyagamhyo jhatiti munijanasyeva dhavan gajendram क्रीडन्नापात्य भूमौ पुनरभिपततस्तस्य दन्तं सजीवम्.
हस्तप्राप्योऽप्यगम्यो झटिति मुनिजनस्येव्य धावन् गजेन्द्रं क्रीडन्नापात्य भूमौ पुनरभिपततस्तस्य दन्तं सजीवम्. हस्तप्राप्योऽप्यगम्यो झटिति मुनिजनस्येव्य धावन् गजेन्द्रं क्रीडन्नापात्य भूमौ पुनरभिपततस्तस्य दन्तं सजीवम्.
Sindhuji, the first line, Munijanas yeva.
Munijana eva.
Munijanas yeva.
Okay. So we have to break it there.
No, you don't have to break it. I think the way you were saying something was not correct in that word. That's why.
Oh, okay, okay.
Okay. As long as you have Munijanas yeva. Yeah, that's the right way to break it also. So.
Okay.
Right.
Hastaprápyopyagamyo jhatiti munijanasyev dhavan gajendram क्रीडन्नापात्य भूमौ पुनरभिपततस्तस्य दन्तं सजीवम्. हस्तप्राप्योप्यगम्यो झटिति मुनिजनस्येव धावन् गजेन्द्रं क्रीडन्नापात्य भूमौ पुनरभिपततस्तस्य दन्तं सजीवम्.
मूलाद् उन्मूल्य, तन्मूलग महित महा मौक्तिकान्यात्म mitre, and then put a plus, pradastvam, and then comma. So one comma after mulad unmulya, next comma after pradastvam, comma. Haramebhir lalita virachitam radhikayai disheti. Mulhadunmulya tanmulaga mahita mahamauktikaanyatma metre pradhastvam haramebhir lalita virachitam radhikayai disheti.
Muladunmulya tanmulaga mahita mahamauktikaanyatma metre pradhastvam हारमेभिर्ललितविरचितं राधिकायै दिशेति. मूलादुन्मूल्य तन्मूलगमहितमहामौक्तिकान्यात्ममित्रे प्रादास्त्वं हारमेभिर्ललितविरचितं राधिकायै दिशेति.
मूलादुन्मूल्य तन्मूलगमहितमहामौक्तिकान्यात्ममित्रे प्रादास्त्वं हारमेभिर्ललितविरचितं राधिकायै दिशेति. मूलादुन्मूल्य तन्मूलगमहितमहामौक्तिकान्यात्ममित्रे प्रादास्त्वं हारमेभिर्ललितविरचितं राधिकायै दिशेति.
And so forth. Grihnanam dantamamse yutamata halina rangamanga vishantam tvam mangalyanga bhangi rabasahritamano lochana vichyadokaha hamho dhanyo hinando nahi nahi pashupalanganaha no yashodha no dhanye kshana smastri jagati vayame veti sarve shashamsuhu. So now Krishna and Balarama are entering into the arena, right, where everybody is seated and they each are holding one of the tusks in their hands and they're entering it. So when everybody is looking at it, so here one Bhagavatam, they have a very nice explanation. They say each one who's looking at Krishna is looking at it in a different angle. So for example, they say the wrestlers who are there, Chanura, Mallavira and everybody else who was there, they are beginning to panic because they know what happened yesterday when Krishna and Balarama broke the bow. They of course heard about them, but now they saw them in action and they saw how very easily they got rid of the elephant. So they are afraid of them. The men folks of Mathura are now thinking of them as like alpha males, very powerful boys, strong males, right, who are actually walking in. The women who are Madura, of course, they are in love with Krishna and Balarama, right? So they are looking at Krishna that way. The cowherds, the Gopas who are assembled there, look at Krishna as their relatives. Kamsa and some of his people, so they are all afraid of what's going to happen to them next. So they are worried about how Krishna is going to be, what's going to happen. His parents are situated there. So Vasudeva, Devaki, Nanda, they are looking at Krishna as a child. So no matter what Krishna does for them, he's their child. So they are looking at him as a child. Then the yogis who are there, who are the learned people, so they look at him as the absolute Brahman himself who has come. And every other people look at him as God himself has come. So that's why each one is looking at Krishna in a different way. And they're discussing among themselves that Dhanyas, who is the most fortunate? So there's some people who says Nanda Gopa is the most fortunate because he's got such a brave child. He's got such a brave boy. He's indeed the father is the most fortunate. Some people are saying, no, it's not Nanda. It is Yashoda who's the most fortunate. Some others are saying, no, it's us. All of us who are present here, because we are able to witness this person in action and we're able to witness this person here. So and then others are saying, no, it is not. It's the entire world. The entire world of people are fortunate because this Krishna has been born at this time. So the Trijagati, the people of this entire world are fortunate. So they're just discussing among themselves. So Grinnanam Dantamamse, comma, Yutamata Halina Rangam Angha Vishantam. You can break it that ma if you want. Rangam Angha Vishantam, comma. The next word, Twam Mangalyangha Bhangi Rabhasa Krita Mano Lochana Vikshya Lokaha. So no comma there. So Twam Mangalyangha Bhangi Rabhasa Krita Mano Lochana Vikshya Lokaha. Grihnanam Dantamamse Yutamata Halina Rangamangha Vishantam Twam Mangalyanga Bhangi Rabhasa Krita Mano Lochana Vikshya Lokaha.
Grinnanam Dandamamse Yudamadhalina Rangamanga Vishandam Twam Mangalyanga Bhangi Rabhasahridamano Lochana Vichalogaha. Grinnanam Dandamamse Yudamadhalina Rangamanga Vishandam Twam Mangalyanga Bhangi Rabhasahridamano Lochana Vichalogaha.
Vimhanam dantamamse Yutamatha halina ranga manga vishantam Kamangalyanga bhangi rabhasahrutamano lochana vikshalokaha. Vimhanam dantamamse Yutamata halina ranga manga vishantam Kamangalyanga bhangi rabhasahrutamano lochana vikshalokaha.
Ham ho dhanyo hi nando, comma, nahi pashupalanganaha. So put a visarga there and a comma. Pashupalanganaha, comma. No Yashoda, comma again. So 3 commas there, one after Nando, one after Pashupalanganaha, one after Yashoda. No Dhanyekshanaha is there, put a is. Dhanyekshanas Smas Trijagati. Okay, so then this is coming after Kshanaha. Then the next word is Smas Trijagati, comma. Vayameveti Sarve Shashamsuhu. Ham ho dhanyo hinando nahi pashupalanganaha no Yashodha no dhanyekshana smas trijagati vayameveti sarve shashamsuhu.
Ham ho dhanyo hi nando nahi pashupalanganaha no Yashoda no dhanyekshana samastri jagadi vayame vedi sarve shashamsu.
Sindhuji, once again. that last line, no dhanyekshanas smas trijagati.
Oh, smastri jagadi.
And then
Okay.
a comma after that, then vayame veti sarve shashamsuhu. There's a visarga at the very end.
Okay. Ham ho dhanyo hi nando nahi pashupalanganaha no yashoda no yashoda no dhanyekshanas smastri jagadi vayame vedi sarve shashamsuhu.
That first third line, right? Pashupa langanaha. There's a say that word again.
Pashupalanganaha.
Yeah,
Yeah.
got it.
Ham ho dhanyo nu nando nahi pashupalanganaha no yashoda no dhanyekshanasmastri jagati vayame veti sarvesha shamsuhu.
Jaya, the third line, dhanyo hi nando.
Dhanyo.
You said nu or something else there. So
Yes, yeah, sorry, I didn't make that.
We have no in our Telugu script, Rajesh.
okay. Can you change it to hi? Dhanyo hi nando.
Okay.
Ham ho dhanyo hi nando nahi pashupalanganaha no yasho. Sorry. Ham ho dhanyo nu nando nahi pashupalanganaha no yashoda no dhanyekshanasmastri jagati vayame veti sarvesha shamsuhu.
Stanza 5. Purnam brahmaiva sakshat niravadi paramananda sandra prakasham gopeshu tvam vyalasihi nakhalu bahujanai stavada vedito bhuh drishtva tatvam tadedham pratamam upagate punyakale janoghaha purnanandha vipapa sarasam abhijaguh tvatkritani smritani. So Patri says, you who's Purnam Brahmaiva Sakshat, you are the Brahman himself, right? Or Brahman itself, because you can't put a gender there. So Brahman itself, who is in the form of Krishna living among the Gopas. But the Gopas do not realize that, right? So like that's what he says. You are just living for them, you are just Krishna. And you are shining among them. You seem to be doing all these great deeds according to them, but they don't realize you are the Supreme Brahman himself. So they have already enjoyed your company. Now, when you come to Mathura, all the other residents of Mathura also, so they are now looking at this and they keep talking about, they don't realize that their time has come for them. That's why it says here that Punya Kale, the good time has begun for them, because they are able to see you, and by just looking at you, a lot of their sins are also getting eradicated, and they are having the opportunity to enjoy bliss with you. So that's why it says Purnananda. They are also becoming full of bliss by narrating all the incidents. They keep talking about how this boy was there. This boy ended up getting rid of his Putana, or Putana came to hurt, but nothing happened to him. He happened to go through the trees, and then nothing happened to him. And they keep talking about all these things, right? Of how this boy has survived. They don't know if the boy got rid of it, but they think how the boy survived all these various things. And they're all seeing all your things. So discussing all your legal, and they're all in full extreme bliss right now. So Purnam Brahmaiva Sakshat. So the double na that is coming there, we're going to remove it. Put the it first. Sakshat, comma. Then the next word starts with the ni. Niravadhi Paramananda Sandra Prakasham, comma. Gopeshu Tvam Vyalasihi. So put a visarga there after Velasi and then a comma. Velasihi. Then the next word on top of na, if you have the ir, you can remove that. Na khalu bahu janais tavadavedito bhuhu. You can just say that together. Tavadavedito bhuhu. Purnam brahmaiva sakshat niravadhi paramananda sandra prakasham gopeshu tvam vyalasihi nakhalu bahujanais tavadavedito bhuhu.
Purnam brahmaiva sakshad निरवधि परमानन्द सान्द्र प्रकाशं गोपेषु त्वं व्यलासीः न खलु बहुजनैस्तावदा वेदितो भूः पूर्णं ब्रह्मैव साक्षात् निरवधि परमानन्द सान्द्र प्रकाशं गोपेषु त्वं व्यलासीः न खलु बहुजनैस्तावदा वेदितो भूः.
அந்த பகுஜன இஸ்க்கு அப்புறம் கமா இருக்கா இல்ல கிடையாது?
No comma there.
पूर्णं ब्रह्मैव साक्षात् निरवधि परमानन्द सान्द्र प्रकाशं गोपेषु त्वं व्यलासीः न खलु बहुजनैस्तावदा वेदितो भूः पूर्णं ब्रह्मैव साक्षात् निरवधि परमानन्द सान्द्र प्रकाशं गोपेषु त्वं व्यलासीः न खलु बहुजनैस्तावदा वेदितो भूः
दृष्ट्वात त्वां तदेदं, and then a comma after tadedam, pratamam upagate, if you want to break it, pratamam upagate punyakale janaughaha, comma purnananda vipapaha, put a is there, vipapas sarasam abhi jaguhu, sarasam abhi jaguhu, put a remove the is there and put a visarga and comma, sarasam abhi jaguhu visarga comma tvat kritani smritani दृष्ट्वा तत्त्वां तदेदं प्रथमम् उपगते पुण्यकाले जनौघाः पूर्णानन्दा विपापा सरसमभिजगुः त्वत्कृतानि स्मृतानि
दृष्ट्वा त्वां तदेदं प्रथममुपगते पुण्यकाले जनौघाः पूर्णानन्दा विभावा सरसमभिजगुः त्वत्कृतानि स्मृतानि दृष्ट्वा त्वां तदेदं प्रथममुपगते पुण्यकाले जनौघाः पूर्णानन्दा विभावा सरसमभिजगुः त्वत्कृतानि स्मृतानि
दृष्ट्वाथ त्वां तदेदं प्रथममुपगते पुण्यकाले जनौघाः पूर्णानन्दा विपापा सरसमभिजगुः तत्कृतानि स्मृतानि दृष्ट्वाथ त्वां तदेदं प्रथममुपगते पुण्यकाले जनौघाः पूर्णानन्दा विपापा सरसमभिजगुः तत्कृतानि स्मृतानि.
Jaya, the last word tvatkritani.
Yeah.
Okay. Stanza 6. Chanuro mallavirastadanu nrupagira mushtiko mushtishalī tvam ramam chabhipete jhata jhatiti mito mushtipatati ruksham उत्पाता पातना कर्षण विविधरणान्यासतां तत्र चित्रं मृत्योः प्रागेव मल्ल प्रभुरघमदयं भूरिशो बन्धमोक्षान्. So the Kamsa now orders Chanura and Mallavira, Mushtika, Chanura and Mushtika, two wrestlers, to then go have a wrestling match with Krishna and Balarama. So they come, and then, like any big wrestler will do, they tease these boys, saying that, you know what, you are all Gopa boys, you are all, you are all more used to playing with cows, but somehow the king feels that you are strong and he's invited you all here, so come for a wrestling match with us. So Krishna and Balarama then look at him and says, how is it like, we are all forest dwellers, like you say, how can you expect us to go fight with muscular wrestlers like you? So then the Chanura Mushtika say, yeah, all that is true. One is, we've seen what all you have accomplished, the way you got rid of the elephant and everything. So we know you're strong, plus it's the king's orders. So we have to have a wrestling match. So then Chanura then wrestles with Krishna, Mushtika wrestles with Balarama. So then Bhattacharya is saying, they start fighting here, right? So they start pushing them down, climbing on each other, and the wrestling match is going on. And here he says, before their death itself, right? So they are actually getting bandha moksha. They feel like a sense of liberation. So the way he explains it is, when Krishna is going and hugging Chanura. So by hugging Krishna, Chanura is in bondage from a wrestling perspective, but he's getting liberated because he's hugging the Swayam Brahman himself. But then when Krishna, then when he's escaping away from Krishna, he's getting liberated. But then on the philosophical sense, by getting liberated, what you're doing is you're going away from God. So he's now getting into bondage. So he says with this combination of hugging Krishna and getting released from Krishna, he's swinging between bondage and liberation back and forth as they both, Chanura and Mushtika, keep fighting with Krishna and Balarama. Jaya and Sindhuji, just do it one time, you repeat, okay? I just want to finish 7 also today. So Chanuro Mallaviras Tadanu Nripagira, comma, Mushtiko Mushtishali, comma, Twam Ramam Chabhipede, comma, Jhata Jhatiti Mito Mushti Patati Ruksham. Chanuro Mallavirastadanu Nripagira, Mushtiko Muštishali, Twam Ramam Chabhipede, Jhata Jhatiti Mitho Mushti Patati Ruksham.
Chanuro Mallavirastadanu Nripagira, Mushtiko Muštishali, Twam Ramam Chabhipede, Jhata Jhatiti Mitho Mushti Patati Ruksham.
Chanuro Mallavirastadanu Nripagira, Mushtiko Muštishali, Tam Ramancha Jhata Jhatiti Mitho Mushti Patati Ruksham.
Jaya, that second line is Twam, okay? Twam. Swami, you had a question? Yeah.
Other Twam Ramanna Ramamma.
Ramam, im only.
M, okay.
Yeah. Utpatha Patana Karshana. So Utpatha Patana Karshana Vividha Ranan Yasatam. The Ranan Yasatam is one word, so you can't quite break it. So Ranan Yasatam Tatra Chitram. So the whole line is together, no comma, comma at the very end after Chitram. Mrityoho, put a if, Mrityoh Prageva Malla Prabhura Gamadayam, comma, Bhurisho Bandha Mokshan. Utpatha Patana Karshana Vividharanan Yasatam Tatra Chitram, Mrityoh Prageva Malla Prabhura Gamadayam, Bhurisho Bandha Mokshan.
ராஜேஷ் அது விவிதன்னு இருக்கு தமிழ்ல. விதி நீங்க
Vividha, second dha.
விவித.
Yeah.
Utpada Padana Karshana Vividharanya Sadam Tatra Chitram, Mrityo Prageva Malla Prabhuragamadayam, Purisho Bandha Mokshan.
Utpata Patana Karshana Vividharanan Yasatam Tatra Chitram, Nrityoh Prageva Malla Prabhuragamadayam, Purisho Bandha Mokshan.
Just the third line, Vividharanan Yasatam. Okay, that you.
Shall I repeat it?
No, as long as you got that word, right? I think you said Ranan or something. Ranan Yasatam. Okay, so are there. Stanza 7. Hadhik kashtam kumharau sulalita vapushau mallavirau kathorau nadrakshyamu vrajamastwaritamiti jane bhashamane tadhani chanuram tam karod brahmana vigaladasum potayamasitorvyam pishto bhun mushtiko pidrutamata halina nashtashishtair dadhave. So everybody is discussing that how unfair is it? So all the women and everybody's women are discussing, saying that it is so irreligious that Kamsa is calling these young boys who are very tender bodied, they're 11 years old, they're calling him and then having him fight with this massive wrestlers like Chanura and Mallavira. And this is just atrocity that we cannot keep looking at it. So they are all saying that, we all will want to go away. So they all start going away or beginning to walk, right? Saying this is not fair. And at the same time, even Devaki and Vasudeva, they are also all worried, right? Because for them, Krishna is just a small child and they all don't know what to do right now as they are fighting. However, when Krishna sees that people are beginning to get worried, so then Krishna and Balarama, then they start swinging them, putting them on the floor, and Chanura and Mushtika then are respectively killed. And when they die, all the other wrestlers then run away out of fear. So all of those people run away there. Ha dhik kashtam kumarau sulalita vapushau, comma, mallavirau kathorau, comma, na drakshyamo vrajamas twaritam iti, comma, jane bhashamane tadani. Ha dhik kashtam kumarau sulalita vapushau mallavirau kathorau na drakshyamo vrajamas twaritam iti, jane bhashamane tadani.
हाधिक कष्टं कुमारौ सुललित वपुषौ मल्लवीरौ कठोरौ न द्रक्ष्यामो व्रजामस्त्वरितमिति जने भाषमाणे तदानीम्.
आदिकष्टं कुमारौ सुललितवपुषौ मल्लवीरौ कठोरौ न द्रक्ष्यामो व्रजामस्त्वरितमिति जने भाषमाने तदानीम्.
Chanuram tam karodbrahmana vigaladasum, comma, potayam asitorvyam. If you want to break it, or you can say it together, potayam asitorvyam, comma, pishtobhun mushtikopi drutamata halina, comma, nashta shishthai dadhave. Chanuram tam karod brahmana vigaladasum potayamasitorvyam pishto bhun mushtiko pidrutamata halina nashta shishtai dadhave.
चाणूरं तं करोद् ब्राह्मण विगलदसुं बोधयामासि धोर्व्यां पिष्टो भून्मुष्टिको विद्रुतमदहलिना नष्टशिष्टैर्दधावे.
चाणूरं तं करोद्ब्राह्मणविगलदसुं पोतयामासिथोर्व्यां पिष्टो भून्मुष्टिकोऽपि धृतमतहलिना नष्टशिष्टैर्दधावे.
Shri Krishna Parabrahmane Namaha. Stop the class here and leave the climax for the next one. Om Santhanandhava Bodhatmakamanupamitam Kaladeshavadebhyam Nirmuktam Nityamuktam Nigamashata Sahasrena Nirbhasyamanam Aspashtam Drishtamhatre Punarurupurushartatmakam Brahma Tattvam Tattavad Bhadi Sakshad Guru Pavanapure Hanta Bhagyam Jananam Kahena Vacha Manasendriyerva Buddhyatmana va Prakrite Swabhavat Karomi Yatyat Sakalam Parasmai Narayanayeti Samarpayami.